everybody, and welcome to another journaling video. In today's video, I am going to be working in my personal journal, and I am going to be using some of my Tim Holtz stash. So I told myself that for the month of June, I was going to challenge myself to use the supplies that I had on hand that I have been collecting forever from the creator Tim Holtz. He has a very vintage grungy style, and I sort of love that and have been collecting it, but I feel like before I can use everything I buy, I get tired of it, and so I don't use it quite as quickly as I buy it. So I have challenged myself to do that for the month of June, to use what I have. And one of the things that I sort of want to do that I haven't done in the past is sort of work with a lot of texture, and you can see that I am going very aggressive very quickly right off the bat, and I am using some of his collage tissue paper to make my monthly divider, and I just laid a bunch of glue down and like aggressively scrunched it into the paper. And I really like this technique. I've never done anything like this, but now that it has dried, it's really, really fun. It's full of texture, and it makes a really great divider page. So I just grabbed one of his journal cards and one of these label stickers that are from a previous collection, and I'm just sort of making an area where I can notate that this is where June's journaling sort of starts. And I'm using some of his tickets from the ticket book that I think he made last year, I think it was. And I'm just putting some sticky tape down on the top because I'm just going to adhere it very, very like minimally at the very top. And I'm going to curl the tickets up so that, again, it's lifting up off of the page and giving it that texture that I'm really, really interested in. So I don't really do a lot of junk journaling. I sort of feel like it's very chaotic. I feel like junk journals are very chaotic. There's a lot going on, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for journaling. And I guess I've just always sort of been a purist where I just like my little clusters just to make the page a little bit pretty, but I like to leave a lot of room to actually journal, to write what I have to say, what I want to remember. And I'm sort of challenging myself to get out of that comfort zone and try different techniques, along with challenging myself to use the supplies that I have from Tim Holtz. And I have found that it has been very rewarding. I have completed the project. All of my June pages are done. I finished it last night during my monthly Patreon live meetup. And something that I noticed during the month is A, I did a lot of texture, B, I did a lot of tip-ins, and created a lot of dimensional space where you have to flip something in order to read the rest of the journaling, the thoughts and the memories. And I feel like junk journaling, that's like very typical of what you see in a junk journal. And like I said, I'm not normally into that, but for some reason, I guess it's because I had a ton of supplies to use. It was all guilt-free. I wasn't feeling bad about using something that I literally only had one of, because I know anything that I do use is replaceable when it comes to the Tim Holtz stuff, because I have so much of it, but I can easily just find it online if I wanted to. And I feel like when I'm working with proper vintage stuff, I feel very limited sometimes, because if I love something, I tend to not use it because I don't want it to be gone forever. And I need to get away from that, and I'm getting better at it. And I think using the Tim Holtz stuff has really sort of pushed my boundaries and given me that freedom to just create and use what you have. And I'm hoping to take that sort of knowledge into the future with using my future supplies, and I hope that I'm able to remember that and hold on to it. But I have enjoyed the tip-ins too. I usually don't do a lot of tip-ins, and tip-ins are basically where you just take like something and tape it in, and it becomes like a flap, like a flippable flap. And I don't do that a lot, but I did this month and I really like it. The only time I usually do tip-ins is when I'm doing like a travel journal and I have a very limited amount of space and a lot of stuff that I want to put into that journal. And I don't normally add a lot of stuff into like my regular personal journal like this. It's just not where that kind of stuff goes. I have other journals that I usually use that for. But yeah, I've been doing it a lot and I like it. So what I've just done right there, that would be what you would call a tip-in. I have just taped something in that I can flip and open, and it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed that process. I'm about to do it again using some of the scrapbook paper scraps that I had. And yeah, I think actually this layout ends up being my favorite. And during the Patreon live video, I actually added to this layout because the babies got a hold of this journal and ripped this page. And I had to add something in order to repair it. And the end result made this layout a lot better, in my opinion. Like, it's just added texture and dimension, and it ended up just being really, really cool. I really like it. And I don't know, the project has just been fun. I love challenging myself to work within a certain genre or style, or using certain supplies, limiting myself. I really just love that. I just creatively thrive that way. And it just keeps me focused, and I really love that. The whole point of using the Tim Holtz stuff that I had was to sort of clear this stuff out, and get rid of it, and just stop holding on to stuff like this just because I buy, but I don't use. And I haven't emptied out the collection, not by a long shot, but I have 10. I did feel myself sort of fall in love with the supplies, and I feel like I'm just naturally going to gravitate towards using it, whereas before I felt like I saw it too much. It was always around. I sort of got desensitized to using it, and I sort of felt like it was cheating. It's not real vintage, like it's not good enough, like it was lesser for some reason because it was reproduction. And using it this month made me sort of have a different appreciation for this, and has sort of sparked an interest to continue using it, to continue sharing it, and to appreciate the fact that the creator decided to reproduce vintage stuff so that everybody could have access to this. And a lot of the stuff that I play with, I don't have access to that, like the very specific things. And I don't know, I just like it. I think it's been really fun. I have enjoyed the challenge, and I'm looking forward to continuing to use it. So with that being said, I hope everybody is having a good week. It has been crazy here as always. I wish I could say like things were boring again, but they're just not anymore. Especially with school being out for the summer, everybody is home, everybody's busy, we've got a lot going on, and it has just been sort of chaotic. We've got a lot going on. We just enrolled the boys into 2 different martial arts programs to sort of get them keep them active, and give them some new skills to gain some confidence and some mental structure for themselves, to sort of help sort of calm them down and teach them how to control their bodies and their minds. And we're hoping that it works. Because they're just active boys, and I think that sometimes they need structure in a way that isn't school or household chores. And I think that this is a good step, for now anyway. We're going to see how it goes. We haven't started yet. Their first classes are next week, and they're both really excited. So it's going to be interesting. I also found out that we might be able to get Cullen enrolled into like an early education program in August, which I'm totally freaking out about, because like my older 2 boys weren't able to go to school until I think they were 4 for VPK. And even though we did VPK for both of them, they still really, really struggled when it came time to go to like a school program. Kindergarten was really, really tough for them, and it just continued to get tough, and it never got easier, never got better. So I'm hoping that with Cullen going into a structured sort of environment a year earlier, it might help, and it would be really nice to only have one baby in the house as opposed to having them both here all day long. But yeah, I hope everybody has enjoyed this video. Here are the close-ups. I hope that you have enjoyed this process and would consider challenging yourself to use some of the supplies that you have on hand that maybe you're just holding on to. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to leave them down below. I love interacting with you guys down in the comment section. If you're not a subscriber, I can ask you to consider subscribing so that you don't miss any future content. And if you are subscribed or you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that little bell, because I'm noticing that my videos are going down and a lot of my subscribers are saying that they are not being notified that my videos are going live. So make sure you hit that bell and stay in the know. That's going to be it from me. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye.